how was it that the police contingent, so many police officers who rarely had days off, were told to stay home? Why wasn't it properly staffed if they foresaw this threat, which, if they had these informants embedded in different groups like the Oath Keepers or the Proud Boys, they were supposedly aware of what was going to happen. You'd think that they would bulk up security. Instead, it was reduced below normal levels. And I ask you, who was responsible for this? Is there one person who was, I suppose, not to use the word mastermind, but masterminded or orchestrated this entire operation? And you said the word Pelosi to me. Is there going to be on these videos anything that shows us her role or the role of her staff, or anything regarding her communications with Mayor Bowser about the Capitol Police and the DC Metro Police?
Such a good question. Unfortunately, Nancy Pelosi, as you know, her office was completely off limits to the January 6th Select Committee. We have seen no documents out of her office, no correspondence, nothing. But what's interesting is that her House Sergeant at Arms, Paul Irving, did give over some material to House Republicans last year. He also testified to the January 6th committee. So did Nancy Pelosi's top security staffers. Shockingly, one of her security staffers, who also was shared with House Administration Committee, told the January 6th committee that planning for January 6th started in the summer of 2020. And when investigators asked this person, Jamie Fleet, well, why would you start in the summer of 2020 planning for January 6th? He said, it's because, we had seen Trump and how erratically he acted. So we were just going to plan in advance. What Paul Irving, though, testified to is that on January 5th, the day before, he gave only to Democrats, by the way, Democratic lawmakers, sort of a walkthrough of the joint session, which I'm not really sure why he would have to do that. Be interesting to see who was involved and how that went down. Even more alarmingly is Paul Irving said that he gave other Democratic lawmakers a tour or a redo of the evacuation route from the House. Now, Liz, if they weren't worried that anything was going to happen that day, if the same Paul Irving, who was denying Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund's request for extra help, extra National Guardsmen, if that same Paul Irving, who was denying extra security, at the same time gave a redo or a walkthrough of the evacuation plan, and 24 hours later, that's exactly what was happening, that's just one of those things that does not add up. So exactly what was happening on the 5th, too, in preparation for the next day. And it would be good to get some more answers from Paul Irving as to why at the same time he was worried about evacuating Congress, but leaving, it was his responsibility, along with the Senate Sergeant at Arms, to secure the Capitol grounds. That just makes no sense.